Today we're going to be talking about preparing for your trading day. Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, I'm Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Today we're going to be talking about preparing for your trading day. I received quite a few emails after last week's video regarding preparation on the day. So today we're going to break this down into a little bit more detail in terms of what I do to prepare. We talk about this in the 7-step daily routine for high performance traders. If you haven't done so, go to my homepage, download it. It's an audio file. You can take it, listen to it wherever you go, put it on your phone. But it's a great way to use as a framework for creating your own routines. I believe everything boils back down into the smallest detail of your day, into routines, lists and routines. If you've got something that you can follow, you can track it, and then you can measure it and you can improve upon it, but you can also monitor your performance. But if you're just scattered and you're going through the routine or getting on your computer, keeping things up here, it's after years of experience, perhaps people can do that. But generally speaking, I think that most people need structure and they need some sort of roadmap to go from A to B. So today I'm just going to go over some of the things that I do to prepare each and every day. Now, if you've been following me long enough, you sort of get the idea about my routines, but we're going to go over it in a bit more detail. Mine starts the night before, or and then on the weekend. So my end-of-day trading, I spend a lot of time on the computer. My wife would attest to that. Now, as much as I would say that I don't, I do. But I'm on there a lot just testing and reviewing and accelerated learning. So I'll go back different times of the day, I'll sit down for half an hour and I'll go through 10 weeks of trades. So one of the things that I do the night before is I go through my playbook and I'm just looking for my best 8-type trade setups. Now, I talked last week about eliminating a couple things out. But basically I'm a trend following trader. I try to stick with the trends. I do counter trend trades. Now, most of those have to do with the monthly ATRs and the monthly rollovers, because if you just the way that I trade, I'm looking to trade the weekly ATR on the daily charts and the monthly ATR on the daily charts. So I go through my playbook. I establish the markets. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is different for me, but one of the key things that I look for in my playbook is some simple triggers, and we'll get to that in a second. But I review my playbook. I identify the markets that potentially are setting up for that week's best trade setups, and then I go to bed. And before I go to bed, I listen to a Premeditation Power Mind podcast, which isn't very long. I've made a couple up myself. They're about 5 minutes long, but they're designed to input my supercomputer so that while I'm sleeping, my brain is remembering what it listened to last. So oftentimes people will watch the news or they're reading the paper, and they're finding out about war, death, destruction, politics, murder, rape, all these crazy things, and when they go to sleep at night, it's all that negativity. And so what I try to do is give myself a few minutes of some deep breathing. I pop my headphones on. I often fall asleep to it because I've done it with an echo background, but it's designed to reinforce and affirm powerful I am statements, and also reinforce to my brain that I'm a successful trader, and other affirmations to go along with that. So that's something that I do before I go to sleep at night. Number 2, so again, if you've been following me long enough, you know that I get up early. I like to hydrate right away, and I like to exercise first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's at the beach, it might be down at the park, could be here at home, but often I'll get out early with the dogs, and that's partly because it affects parts of the brain that not only release feel-good chemicals, hydration, number 1, even 10% change in your hydration levels can affect your ability to make clear, concise decisions. It can cause irritability, tension, anxiety. So it's important right away to be hydrating the brain, to also be activating parts of the brain that release feel-good chemicals to help us relax. Deep breathing affects the vagal nerve, which has a relaxation effect, but it also allows our brain to get into a better state for clarity and conscious decision making. So again, I'll do the deep breathing. There's different types of stuff, but one of the things the Navy SEALs talk about, and we've talked about this in other videos, is that one of the first things that they do under any stressful or situations of great danger is they're trained in there's 4 things that they train on, but the first thing is always about their breathing. Focus on their breathing in any tense or stressful situation, and they do a box breathing method, which is 4 to 6 seconds in, holding it for 4 to 6 seconds, exhaling for 4 to 6 seconds again, holding that for 4 to 6 seconds, and repeating the process. And that extended breathing method calms the nervous system through the vagal nerve, and that affects a lot of the other internal organs, but it also affects parts of the brain related to relaxation and being able to handle the stressful situation rather than going into fight, flight, and reacting. Number 3, mental rehearsal, review, and preparation. So I'll often take a couple of minutes and just calm myself down. Now, because I'm end-of-day trading, it's not quite as demanding perhaps for people who are day trading, especially on really short time frames, but I believe that I do my routine religiously every single day. I'll do the mental rehearsal where I'm just calming myself down, putting myself into that situation, and one of the things I talked about in a recent video was I've really trained myself that when I have the trigger there, regardless of what my interpretation of the market is or anything else, is that if I have a trigger set up, to place the order. And one of the things Jerry Parker talked about, one of the turtles, that when he was started out with the turtle program, he struggled the first few weeks. He sort of talked himself out of certain trades, and Richard Dennis came up and said, Jerry, how's it going? And Jerry said, you know, I've had a few good trades, but I've missed a few trades. And Richard Dennis said to him, just do what we taught you to do, stick to your risk management, and do the right thing. Just take the trades. And Jerry Parker now runs Chesapeake Capital, but one of the things that I've really learned through, you know, when I was testing my end-of-day trading, is that I would often stand back and talk myself out of placing the orders because of bias that I had from my technical assessment of the markets, and those were the markets that would run away without me. And so it's really imperative, especially for me, because I place limit orders and they're designed to pick up momentum when the market moves. So, you know, for me, mental rehearsal, reviewing and preparing to execute my trading plan as it calls for. So oftentimes one of the things in the past that I've often done, I've spent a lot amount of time developing a fantastic trading plan, then I get into a live market and do something completely different. Throw my risk management out the window, average into losing trades, move my stops, over leverage, all the things that losing traders do. So when I say this is critical because it allows you to, again, just reinforce your approach, your trading plan, and the willingness to execute according to what you've written down and prepared for. Number 4, trading checklists. So I'm really big on checklists, and so one of the things, again, that I have established and I've really simplified things down is that I look for a really simple A plus B plus C type of setups. And the reason why that is that, you know, often, again, I can go through 20 pairs and I can do them manually very quickly. Like one of my first triggers is, has a weekly high or low been violated? So when Monday opens up, has Monday's high or low taken out the previous week's high or low? That's a trigger for me. So that's, you know, on my checklist, one of my first columns is the weekly high low. So right away I know which markets have already set up potentially for that type of trading setup that I'm looking for. So again, just develop your own trading checklist. I also use some scans with Metastock, and your triggers. Whatever they are, if you have a checklist, it enables you to just, again, follow that recipe, and you can start to narrow, if you're following multiple instruments, you can narrow that down rather than trying to keep all the information in your head. You can narrow that down and be able to look at a piece of paper with a glance and know that your priorities are certain markets and certain setups. Number 5, review your trading process and your risk management. So again, with my triggers, once my triggers have set up, okay, my next step is to what? Place my order. Placing my orders, and I know what my risk management is for that week already. So in terms of my position sizing, depending on the instrument, that may vary because of the exchange. But I want to have all that organized so that when that comes up and I'm ready to place the orders, I already know exactly what my procedures are going to be to place the orders, be in the trade, and then the next step is managing that trade. So what am I going to do once I'm in the trade? What are my goals? What are my targets? One of the things that I have trained myself to do at a minimum right away is I place my 1 hour stop, and at a minimum on my end of day I have a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I have a time decay factor on that. So for example, if a new high or low is violated once I'm in that trade, then at the close of the market, I can then move my stop to break even. So that allows me to protect myself if a market reverses quickly the next day because I'm off the screen, but also it allows me to, if I place my target in there for a market that potentially might spike on a catalyst, on a news announcement, to be able to extract the profits out of the market even when I'm not at the screen. Now, part of that again is in your trading review setup for the day or for the week. If you're trading certain pairs, is there a catalyst event coming up for the week? You know, is there an interest rate announcement? Is there non-farm payrolls? Is there a central government that's going to be speaking or making a major news announcement on unemployment or bank rates or something like that? Because if you're in that particular instrument and there is a catalyst event coming up, one of the things again we've talked about in other videos is that markets will often move into a catalyst and then reverse drastically to the other side or continue to trend. So just something to be aware of if you're day trading or if you're in a market and you have a position that's heading into a major news event. And number 6, of course, I always do afterwards screenshots, journal the trades, and my journal sort of evolves. I'm using Edgewonk. I'm still using my handwritten journal and learning to use Edgewonk better to my advantage. But if you're day trading, I would encourage you to journal throughout your day. So you might have a pre-market, market open, as the day progresses, what are you seeing, what's evolving, and then of course the post-analysis, if you've had trades or if you didn't have anything at all, what actually played out, what did you do well, did you interpret the market, what could you have done better, all those things. And I do that with the end of day trading every Saturday. So as you can see, once you get this down into a process, it can be a fairly simple, you know, up to number 3, this is all within, you know, an hour tops, including the exercise and everything else, because once you've got it down into a fairly simple process, that all comes together pretty quick. The next part of that again is once you're at your desk, before you get to your desk, you do your mental rehearsal, your breathing, get your head in the right space, be prepared, review your playbook, and then go about identifying the markets or the trade setups that you're looking for on the day, and then follow the process as you've written down in your trading plan and stick to your money management rules.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined and may the markets go with you.